Last year in India, we learned from our teacher that love is the way and love is the goal.
In this month's video, we wanted to unpack this idea and talk with you guys about what exactly that means.
We're going to start with love as the goal. What exactly does it mean to have love be your goal? It means that connection is the goal. When you operate in a place of love and when love is present, then there is a sense of connection. There is a sense that we're operating in the same plane. We're operating in this place where we both belong.
The first place we wanted to look at connection and bringing it to love is with relationships.
Mm-hmm.
We all have relationships. We have relationships with our friends. We have relationships with our family members. We might have relationships with significant others. Relationships are big and complex. And when we're able to connect in our relationships, we can take them to deeper and deeper levels.
Connection in our relationship comes from first listening to our own needs, and then listening to whatever our partner's needs may be. And our partner, like we just explained, may be a significant other, may be a friend, may be a sibling, or maybe a coworker. But when we first operate from this place of listening, then we can have this connection, this loving connection that begins to open.
As we listen, it's important that we hold ourselves in a neutral position. This loving attitude that we're listening with doesn't have judgment. There's no attachment to this place of listening. We're also not trying to fix the problem. We're simply just listening to what the person has to say.
So I'm going to give you an example from our history. And we have really tested out love in our own relationship. And there was a point, actually there's been many points, that our relationship has been rocky.
Lots of waves.
And at one point, I personally was seeking a deeper connection, and I was seeking it within myself, and was fearful that through that I was maybe going to lose this person who I loved so much. And during that time, I had to listen. I had to really listen to what was coming up inside of me, because then it allowed me to develop ultimately a deeper connection with my loved one.
So this listening is not only with the other person. You're not only listening to what they're saying, you're also listening to yourself, what you need, and becoming clear. And that's going to help in your relationships with others.
Just to finish up that story, because I know you guys are out there and you were like, what? I thought you were going to tell us something juicy and good. And so I'll share an insight. Back before I went to my first yoga teacher training, I was feeling a little bit lost and insecure and broken. And during that time, I needed to find myself. And so I went on an adventure to Peru. And when I left for that adventure, I remember really looking at our relationship and thinking that I don't know what is going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen, but I do know that I need to listen to my heart, because love is always going to find a way. So as you think about love being the goal in your relationship and seeking a deeper connection, you want to listen to yourself and then listen to your significant other. this goal of love also applies to other areas of our life. It applies to our professional life, to the work that we do. And even if you don't have a job, I'm sure that you still do work. A lot of you guys are moms, and so you work all of the time doing things for other people, doing things to maintain this life that we live.
If we approach these activities, this work, as if we bring a lens of love and we approach it with this loving attitude, then we're able to connect not only to the work, but also the people that we're working with.
This is really important. And so thinking about love being the goal in the work that you do, it shifts it completely, because instead of looking for money or looking for more clients or looking for somebody to say good job, you're looking for love. You're saying, oh my gosh, I had a great day at work because I was able to connect to somebody or something. I had this moment of connection, of truth that touched me, that touched the deepest part within me. And that's ultimately the goal.
This practice, of course, takes a lot of work, and it also takes trusting. We have to kind of surrender to the idea that, like, this is the way that I'm going to get more clients, or this is what I need to do in order to make more money, and really trust that through love, I'll be taken care of. And the more I can connect to love, the more I'll be supported in ways that I can't even see.
So love is the goal. You want connection in your relationships, you want connection in your work, and you also want connection in yourself. And so when you shine this goal of love and deep connection to yourself and who you are, then it's going to allow you to really open up and feel who you are. We believe that all of us have this spark of light inside of us, and that is really who we are. And so if we want to experience true love, then we connect to that spark of light within us. And it is love, and it brings us love.
The more we're able to connect to this spark, this internal loving source, the easier it is to address love in these other areas of our life, in our work and in our relationships.
Yep, that's true.
So when we look at love being the goal, and then love being the way to get to that goal, the best place to start is with yourself. And to cultivate more self-love, we practice cultivating self-compassion. In the Compassion Challenge in January, we focused on this. We unpacked compassion and we learned how to cultivate it for ourselves. As we practice more self-compassion, we can connect to ourselves on this deeper level, and naturally, this deeper connection of compassion and love flow outward.
If you don't have the chance to join us in the Compassion Challenge this year, then one of the simple ways that you can practice love for yourself is by comforting yourself. Is by doing things, wearing clothes, using a blanket, eating foods that make you happy, that make you feel comfortable, that give care to yourself, and so you can feel the love that is there.
And when you're doing these activities, really making sure that you fully surrender to feel the love. It's difficult when we have a long list of things to do to put a blanket over ourselves and sit down on the couch for 5 minutes, when really that can be the most supportive activity that we need. Or if we're eating something sweet, it's easy to turn over the wrapper and be like, oh, I shouldn't be eating this because it has this, this, and this in here, when really that could be supporting your highest self if you open to letting yourself have that experience and feel that love.
There was a moment in India last year, and we were in the presence of our guru, and I had something kind of nasty come up inside of me. And I remember it came up and it like word vomited, and I said it, and then immediately I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just did that. And I went into this place of inner criticism. And in that moment, our teacher reached over and took a cookie off of his plate that had been offered to him, and he reached out and he gave it to me. And I remember that the last thing I wanted to do was receive a gift, especially a gift from somebody that gives so much love. And in that moment, I had to choose, like, oh yeah, you're right, I'm going to receive this love right now. And it was amazing because it gave me such a deep connection to who I was and allowed that moment that wasn't ideal to completely dissolve.
Life is full of those moments. That's part of being here now. Learning to practice compassion and practicing compassion through those moments and after those moments can help soften sometimes these difficult situations that we face.
So we understand that love is the goal, that our world is hopefully moving into this place where there's more love. And we hope that happens also professionally. And so what that means is that there's a deeper level of connection to what we do. We're not slaving away at our jobs. Instead, we're connected to what we do. We're putting in this purposeful intention of loving it, even when it maybe isn't like the most glorified position. And we do a lot of dirty work. I do things all the time that I'm like, oh man, I'm still scrubbing toilets. But I can do that with this loving mood because it is the way. It is the way to reach the goal of love, is to love whatever you're doing. We had planned to talk a little bit here about non-attachment. I'm just going to mention it really briefly because it's a whole nother philosophy lesson. But another way to really practice love as a way is to focus on love when you are performing work. And so if you give yourself that opportunity to really connect as you fold the laundry and to do love, then it's not really about completing all of the laundry. You're not focusing on the expectation of having empty laundry baskets or completing all of your bookkeeping or completing all of your to-do list on your project. It takes away that attachment of completing anything or expecting things to happen. Instead, there's this freedom that happens because you're just enjoying. You're taking pleasure in exactly what's happening. There's this loving mood in whatever you're engaged in the work that you're doing professionally or for your family. And that is the way that you get to love being this goal.
This loving mood can also be perceived as a service mood. I'm going to serve my kids by folding their laundry. I would like to serve my client by helping him design his dream home. I'm going to serve my significant other by doing something that speaks to what they would like to do. And you don't have this attachment to doing it because you feel like you should do it. You do it out of this service mood, out of this loving mood. And this is where the true power in this practice comes through.
So love is the way for yourself, connect to yourself, and then apply this way, this method of really doing things in a loving service mood to your work. And think about it in your relationships. And so when you're relating to somebody, you're thinking about serving them. And notice how these little tiny shifts will change your day, will change your week, and will change your life. Thank you so much for spending a few moments in love with us, for helping us expand love and shift the world into this place of deep connection and divine love. If you appreciated this video, please leave a comment, and if you wish, you can even share it with somebody that you love. Namaste.
Namaste.